Hello, everyone. Welcome to the network. Welcome to the Two Dads edition.
Wait, that's not it.
Start again.
Two Dads, Gen X edition. That's a great beginning.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to part two.
Part two.
Vanessa's dating life. And
She's
baby
still
batter
here, so
search.
so she must be enjoying it because
There's
she's still
more
here.
parts than two.
So we are,
Sometimes.
and so we are now diving into how you date and what you use to date. And so we
we got to do the.
We're gonna two dads.
we
and
gotta do
shit
your-
with my stick.
Yeah,
So
your,
ready? We're gonna stretch,
your
look awkward.
freaking.
There we go. In honor of Vanessa, we played the porno music.
She wasn't on all the episodes before where we played that music.
Well,
He was
now-
thinking
now
about
we're
me the whole time when he was
no.
when he hit it.
I was
He's like,
not.
no, no.
No, I wasn't, Sydney. Not at all.
I love you, Sydney.
Anyway, so
Moving on.
so you know the dating apps, they're kind of a new thing. It's been around 10 years now.
They've been around longer than that.
Tinder was the first one, obviously, that really broke off.
eHarmony.
Maybe fifth. Well, that's
Do you
not
remember
really-
I'm sorry. How old are you guys?
Well,
They've
eHarmony,
been dating sites for like
Match.
25 years.
I'm talking like the actual apps, not the sites that you
okay.
pay for,
Not
where
the
they actually
sites, but the apps.
where
Got
they
it.
actually
Okay.
screen serial killers and
'cause,
stuff.
You know, we are 47, Dawson. We've been around long enough
I
to know
am
that there's.
48.
That's right. You turned 48.
Yeah,
Happy
I'm
birthday.
still 47.
thanks.
1 year closer to death.
I mean, shit, you're close to death every day.
Every
You
day.
don't-
It could
doesn't matter
happen
what
now.
age you are.
There could be a meteor that hits this building right now.
Just this building, nowhere else. I mean, we might get struck by lightning, from this stuff, but kind of stuff. Anyway, so the apps. So Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, Date, Farmer,
What? Farmers only.
Farmers Only.
What's the one for old people? Because you're getting close.
Elderly.com.
Silver Singles?
Silver Singles.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's a
Our
good.
Time.
That's a good one, though. We should call it
yeah.
Silver Singles.
Oh, Our Time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Time. Yeah, those dates.
Mhm.
So, what is your worst experience on a dating app? Besides the catfishing.
I did get catfish once.
Yeah.
Yeah. And but-
like 60 times for me.
so the worst experience I've ever had.
Yeah.
Gosh, I don't do dating apps very much at all. But one of the things that I thought was hilarious. So I actually I went on to Facebook dating once.
Oh.
And like
Yeah, you're 47.
But it was like
I went on MySpace dating.
it was like it lasted for like 5-6 hours, and then I canceled the my whole profile thingy because like almost every single one on there was filtered. You could tell badly, so badly it was filtered, and to me that's like lying.
It is.
It's
Yeah.
total
Yeah,
total
100%.
fraud. And so I was like, this is, and I didn't get on a dating app again for like 3-4 months.
I mean, is it
So-
bad
so-
that I have like 95 stories?
Well, I don't know. Is
Okay,
it-
I think there's
so-
a name for that. You would probably know.
Serial dating.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
a skater.
Yeah. So wait, what's
skater?
your
Yeah.
story?
Well, that is my story.
So you didn't actually go on a date?
Well,
Not with anybody from that side.
no, because he has good intuition.
Not only that, but I've got high standards.
I want real people.
No, I'm not
just-
it's I'm not just trying to go out there and just
I was hoping
Spread
you would
the
like
baby
talk to a
buddy.
dude for like 9 hours and you realized it was a guy, not a girl.
No, I mean I've been I'll say it this way. I've been hurt enough that I'm not trying to just go out and date and do whatever. If I'm going to get serious with somebody, it's because I actually want to be with somebody, not because I'm just trying to go out and hook up and have fun.
Yeah.
So that's not me. That's not who I am.
You can suss that out pretty quick
Very
on
quickly.
the apps.
Very
yeah.
quickly.
Yep.
Mhm.
And I mean, from what I've heard from friends of mine and stuff that are women that have been on the dating sites, guys' experiences and girls' experiences are totally different.
Kind of. I mean, I told the story of the
I'm
one.
sorry. Are girls sending you dick pics?
Kind of. Trannies.
What kind of sites are you
I'm
on?
not, I'm kidding.
Oh.
No, but I did tell you about my coworker with Tinder that she was a flight attendant too, and she
Yeah.
made like 10 grand a year.
Oh, yeah.
Sending pictures to that porno site in Switzerland. For
Uh-huh.
each dick pic, she got $1, and so she just would
Who
like
are you?
swipe right.
Tell me your link.
Well, they canceled the.
Yeah.
Oh.
They
Well,
got they got
Yeah,
caught.
because I mean, from what I understand, most women they get like bombarded by
Yeah.
you know.
But what's sad about that is they do it because it works.
Well, but so my experience though is that like when I do a profile, I'm actually putting me on there. I'm not trying to like
Okay, yeah.
fluff
So
or
let's
be anything other than what I am, and so I would get like a couple of likes a week maybe.
So when you're actually on the app, for me, if there's no description,
Mm-hmm.
I go left. I mean, you
Yeah.
could be like hot as
Yeah.
hell and be like, nope, don't give. You're counting on your looks,
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
and most often you're probably just going.
Which means that
to
you probably have no
be
personality
a meal app
or
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And for you, probably turn off are guys who just always shirtless in front of a mirror, flexing.
Well, why don't we
fish.
ask her? What is your experience on dating sites?
Okay, well, as far as dating sites go, they're addicting, right? They
Oh, yeah.
really are. They're addicting. They give you the dopamine hit. They, there's this like plethora of people that like are just your options, even though they're really not. But it makes
Always
you
looking for
think
the next
that they
best thing.
are. Yeah, which is an avoidant trait
Mm-hmm.
that I enjoy. That I'm trying to keep in check.
You enjoy
As she
looking for
holds
the
her
next best
belly.
thing.
I'm like, but the dating apps, at least in the Midwest. So I have my BFF, which is my non-romantic life partner, Lindsay. She is traveling the world right now, and she sends me. So she's in like the East Coast, the West Coast, Hawaii, and she sends me these profiles of these people that are on these other coasts. And I'm like, ugh, these people do not live in the Midwest, and so I'm a little jealous of that. So I do have a little FOMO. But it's the classic like holding up the dead fish. It's the classic like, what do you do on Sundays? Oh, Chiefs, right? Like, no, like I'm gonna go left.
What's wrong with that?
There's, I just want you to do. You can like the Chiefs. I just want you to have something more in depth about you.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah, but like you have to.
But like that's
Tell
people's
me
personalities?
Yeah, like
Oh,
that's
that's-
what they're
okay.
presenting on the app.
Gotcha.
So-
If that's what you're presenting on the app,
Yeah.
that's what you think is going to pull me in, and that's not going to pull me in. It might pull some people in,
Yeah.
oh, I'm sure
but
it
it's
does.
not. Apparently, it does because they keep using it. I don't know, but
Yeah.
Well, how often did you update your picture and stuff?
never.
Never use the same one.
Very, very few. I should update my photos, but here's the thing:
It's back
don't.
when she's 22.
I look the same. Okay, guys.
That's another thing that happens
Yeah.
too. People who don't update their photos and then you
Yeah.
go meet them and they look totally different.
Yeah, so every once in a while I'll look at my photos and I think, does that actually represent who I think that I am today? And most of the time I think that it does to a certain extent. However, dating apps versus meeting people in real life,
Yeah.
if we can go there, they're not, it's compatibility versus chemistry, right? And so your dating app profile is a checklist. What
Yeah.
you put on your dating app profile is a checklist. What you receive from other people is a checklist. The only thing that you're trying to do is match up the checklists. That's not actually being human. That's not.
No.
That's not.
No, it's not being human and it's not effective.
It's not effective.
No.
It's addictive.
Well,
and
and
it makes
the-
you think
yeah.
that it has potential. Every date or every person that I've dated or have gone on a date with that I've met through the dating app, whatever, have been great people.
Yeah.
But they've only met this made up checklist that I think that I want, right? That my logic says this is what I want out of a partner, and this is what I think that I want them to be
Checking the
interested in,
boxes.
Right.
and that doesn't transpire in like chemistry and like frequency and vibes, which I know that you don't think that there's scientific evidence for, which is fine.
Vibes.
Vibes
But
are
right-
hormones and you can't trust your hormones.
Okay, so like right.
Not just the hormones. You've got to be able to feel the connection with the person, but there's so much more to a successful relationship than just vibes.
Yes. No.
So.
True. So the people that I've met in real life, if I can say that, and the people that I've met online are two very different categories of people. The people that I've met in real life, I've had similar frequency. I've had attraction. I've had like that intangible chemistry, right?
Sure.
And
Yeah.
we've had good the people that have dated through that, it's been good.
But
to a certain extent that I'm 39 and don't have a successful, long-lasting relationship. But then the people that I met online,
you're not alone in this room.
thank you, have also been good, but in a very different way, right?
Yeah.
We have good conversation, we have certain likes and dislikes together, and that makes sense. But I haven't seemed to get the two to combine,
Right.
and so the dating. But I have enjoyed and gotten more authenticity out of the people that I've met in real life.
Yes.
Than out of dating apps. And so I don't like dating apps. I think that they are a ploy, and I think that they are just meant to keep you on the dating app and not to keep you in a relationship. On the hook, yes.
Yeah, it's a
I
money maker to get people to keep on trying.
Yeah.
Because
I
find the next
flew
best
to
thing.
Oregon for somebody on a dating app. Like we met on the app.
Yeah.
We FaceTimed. We had great chemistry conversation on FaceTime and all that. I mean, like hours. And then within a month, I was like, fuck it. Like, I've got to find out if we are compatible.
Yeah.
So I fly to Oregon, and I'm going to stay with you for 5 days. And so I fly to small town Oregon, La Grande, something like that. And so I get there, and I'm trying not to have expectations, right? Because that's will kill
it's hard not to do that.
everything in life, right? Yeah. And so, but you know what we do. And so I go, and we have great conversation, but we have terrible sex twice in 5 days. And it's like,
she's like,
it's the apps. It's just not, I don't like it.
the app made you have bad sex?
Yes.
Yeah, obviously, because we're just like swiping while we're fucking.
There's actually,
like,
I think there's truth to
not
that.
what I thought it was.
Yes.
I think there's truth to that statement because
There's all more people here. I'm in Oregon. Look at all these people.
It's the coast.
I gotta come here more often.
but I think there's some truth to that statement as much as you were joking.
No, there really is.
Yeah.
Where you're building up this anticipation so much that the reality then becomes a disappointment.
Right, and I'm trying not to do that, but but like in FaceTime, right, you can see people's mannerisms, you can have conversation. It doesn't have to be so
it's not the same as in person,
preconceived. It's not the same as in person because there is something intangible that has nothing to do with your political alliance, has nothing to do with how you think about the world, has nothing to do with your religion, has nothing to do with your boxes.
Yeah.
Well, it's
It
'cause
has everything to do with your vibe.
It's because you're showing your best. Oh, she just took it to the face. She's getting ready, guys, for that baby batch. You were checking the thickness earlier.
Testing it.
Well, and there's so much truth to that because, studies have shown that if you're with somebody past the 6-month mark, then you're falling in love with them, ideally.
Yeah.
And within the first 3 months, you generally know if you want to keep going forward. So the problem with, long distance, you can pretend for so long, and then people's natural tendencies start to come out after the 6 month. That's why people start going, oh yeah, maybe this isn't working. So with him, you probably around the 6 month is when you started noticing those narcissistic things in the last episode.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to know about, check out
true.
that episode.
Definitely check it out.
So
I should have listened to some intuition.
And what's funny is
earlier on.
I learned that Tinder was a meal app for women. Most of them on there did not have real jobs. Most of them were not educated.
Don't call prostitution not a real job.
No, that's a good job.
Okay.
Not
Bumble.
supporting that at all.
We're not.
No.
I am. I don't know what you guys
That's
are.
one way to get the baby better.
And paid.
And paid. Bumble for me was, most people were educated, had good jobs, but they were mostly broken women that wanted to be fixed. And when they were fixed, they're like, okay, cool, thanks. So I became that good luck Chuck.
Right.
Kind of thing. Like I had probably 10 girls that I dated found their spouse after, but not on an app, like in real life.
They just needed you as the bridge.
Well, I think because I was always the kind of person that's like, no, it's cool. You went through hell, stuff like that. And it's like, oh, you should do this, like lift you up kind of personality.
Right.
It's the Aries. And then Hinge, I liked because Hinge actually, plug for Hinge, it had quips. It had like why you're putting this picture. It forced you to actually show who you are and why.
And if you weren't answering those, you would swipe left because there's no
well,
depth
it
to
wouldn't
that.
let you keep it blank.
Oh, okay.
Like you had to do it before it lets you have your profile. It may have changed by now. I don't know. And so I found like I had better dating experiences on Hinge, but But I found after going through those 3 apps, it's the same 75 people in Kansas. And that's why Kansas City was rated the worst dating city in the country.
Yes.
And Wichita's number 2.
I was gonna say Wichita, St. Louis, Kansas City,
Yeah.
like
The Midwest is
fucking,
horrible.
Yeah.
Well, and I think part of that is because the people that are actually genuine, that actually want to be and can be in a healthy relationship, they don't go out there.
Well, and the funny thing is like in nursing school,
it is.
in nursing school, they made us do therapy because the year before a kid killed himself. The year before that, they had a kid die.
What school did you go to?
Avila. But it also helped the therapy students get their hours. I know, it sounds weird.
No, that's true.
That's so terrible.
I know, but what's kind of funny
good,
is like I was on Bumble and
But
I was
Avila's not KCREP accredited, so
I don't know what you're talking about.
KCREP is the top tier accreditation for being a counselor.
Okay, cool. Side note.
Nursing this, obviously.
I went to MNU.
You did?
I did, yeah.
The last guy I dated went to MNU.
I'm sorry to hear that.
He was me too.
Wait, was he a therapist?
No, but he is very well therapeutically versed.
He was therapized.
Yes,
Therapist.
and,
Okay.
so and it's great. He's
Wait,
wonderful.
undergrad
Actually,
because I only went there for the master's program.
he was psychology,
Undergrad.
but he
He just didn't pass his test.
So a lot of people that get their like bachelor's degree in psychology think they know how the brain works.
Sure. No, I mean he's
It's just
in
really an
therapy.
introduction.
He's in therapy and he's doing wonderful and he's a
Oh,
wonderful
good.
person and
I'm
I
glad to
actually
hear
really
that.
really like
Yeah.
him.
No, I've had people who are like, yeah, took a psychology class in college. I'm like, great, that's
Okay,
wonderful.
Right. Fuck
Anyway, reining it back in.
Yeah.
No, so like she was basically saying the bad thing about the apps, especially Bumble, where the women have control,
Sure.
is a lot of them get addicted to it. They get
Yeah.
addicted to the next best thing. So they could actually have a genuine connection with somebody, but they will still fucking get on the app
Yep.
and still look for, well, this guy's not quite rich enough, and maybe the next sale would be better. Oh, he doesn't have brown eyes, so they start nitpicking.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do that. I do that, but I don't
Right.
do that.
Well, you have your boxes,
Yeah.
But then you're like,
right.
okay, do we actually have a genuine connection?
Right.
And that's the whole point of it, is like you get we align a little bit,
Right.
go meet. So, for me, when I started dating, I was doing the apps, and I just did quick coffee, sit down, see if we vibe, kind of thing. If we got the connection. If we didn't, I'm like, yeah, I'm not feeling it, and I just end it right there, kind of thing.
Sure.
In the
And-
middle of the date.
Yeah.
You don't do like a fake phone
On a
call.
first date?
You don't,
Nope.
you don't have James be like, "Hey, will you call me 911, please?" and
No.
say that like.
No, I
you
was
have to
I
be
was
like, "I'm
always
puking."
genuine. I was always straightforward, and we'd like leave,
Yeah.
and like as we were leaving, like, hey, how do you feel? And I had some people like I thought it was great, and I'm like, hey, do you want to go for a second date? And they'd be like, yeah, actually, I wasn't feeling it. I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
thank
I
you
love
for
that.
thank you for telling me,
Love that.
and not ghosting me and like stringing me
Yeah.
along, kind of thing. And I found that value in the first couple, right?
Mhm.
Now, my worst date
Yes, please.
is we go to La Bodega.
I love that place.
She goes, I want a really nice restaurant for the first date.
Ooh, red flag.
Red flag. Total red flag. Yeah.
And this is like probably the 4th person, right, that I've went on a date with. And I'm like, okay, cool. So we go there, and she orders like 4 appetizers, okay, like the quick ones. And then she's like,
tapas.
let's do wine. And she's like, points to the one she wants. And the waiter looks at me, and he goes, are you sure? And I go, which one is it? And I literally go, which one is it? And he points, and it's like $900. And I go, sure.
That's not just a red flag. That's like a bat signal
Yeah.
on the clouds.
You said sure.
I go, sure.
and then you left.
So we're going through. We go through the one bottle,
You should
and,
put this cowboy hat on when
and,
you say that.
and she's like drinking it like water. I mean, she's like chugging it, and that was like the next red flag. I'm like, Jesus Christ, you don't even value the.
You're like, hey, I'm going to go to the
Like,
bathroom really
sip
quick.
it.
Yeah.
And then so she orders 7 entrees. I'm like, dude, I've gone out to La Bodega with 9 people, and we didn't even get 7 things. I'm like,
Yeah.
what the hell? So I'm like thinking, okay, this tab's probably pushing.
I'm assuming it's a pricey place.
1,000.
I've never been there.
Yeah, it's like 4 out of 5, kind of thing.
It's not terrible. I mean, yeah. Okay, go ahead.
You can share it. Like you
Like
usually order like
$50 a plate kind of thing?
Nah, like 25 to 50.
Oh, that's
depending
not
what you
bad.
do. If you like get the Wagyu, obviously it's.
But
$50.
happy hour kills
Yeah,
there.
that's when you
I
go.
don't drink, so.
Anyway.
Kills.
So
I
then
don't care about happy hour.
then she,
Well, there's food on the happy hour menu.
yeah.
All right.
So then she actually orders another bottle. And so,
Of the $900 bottle,
so I get up,
because she's pissed it all out already.
go to the guy. I give him $200. I go, I'm sorry, I'm leaving. Here's the money. He goes, yeah, I figured.
It's like I saw it in your eyes when you said sure.
And he goes, thanks for actually giving me some money, though. I appreciate that. And I went out through the kitchen. I went out the back door, and I went. Messenger, I'm like, only a cunt would do that.
Yeah.
And I then got off the app. And then I didn't date for another 2 months.
Yeah.
I'm like, if this is what Johnson County does, they just expect these guys to fucking drop bank. I'm not that guy.
I really like. There's a video of this guy and this like the girl is like complaining because he took her to like Kentucky Fried Chicken or something like that, and she's like pissed off because she's like, I didn't get all dressed up for you to take me to.
Oh, yeah, I
this-
saw that one too.
Or Subway, I think it was. And he's like, well, this is kind of, I'm trying to see if you are only focused on the money or not.
Yeah.
So that tells me everything I need to know.
Because I think he was like a financial planner.
Something like that, yeah.
He actually had money. Yeah. And so from then on, my friend Steve, he goes, yeah, dude, that's why you do coffee.
Yeah.
And then if it goes good, then you say, hey, do you want to, get a drink? Do you want to go to breakfast or lunch, whatever? And so I went with that. And really, I just kind of learned that you get there, people lie.
Yep.
Pictures are false,
Yep.
filters.
Yep. Personalities, they are not who they say they are half the time.
I've stayed with dates. I've had one date where, her picture was actually from high school, and she was about 300 pounds heavier. But I stayed for the date, still had fun, talked to her, and as we were leaving,
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, just so you know, don't ever catfish anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm a good person. Like, I still enjoyed my time with you, but I'm not going to date you anymore.
Are you telling me to be quiet because you have a reply?
Do you have a reply to that? Because I have a reply.
Go
to
for
that.
it.
Yeah, go.
Go for it.
You said yes.
But don't
to
tell me what to
somebody
do.
whose profile was from high school.
Well, I didn't know it was from high school. I don't know how old she was. Like, she
Yeah,
said,
you know what high schoolers look like.
she didn't.
Yeah,
She didn't look like.
it's not like
she didn't
back
look
when
like-
I was in high
Yeah.
school
Honestly,
and people
that's
looked
true.
like
They
they were
do
in high
not.
school.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
And I say
one of the
I say high
cautions.
school
Okay.
loosely. It was probably like college.
I'm going to give
Definitely-
you the benefit of the doubt, but I
definitely
am
15
still
years
red
earlier.
flagging that.
No, so
Kinda
like
thing.
on,
Still red
on
flagging
like
that.
pictures on profiles and stuff, I look for like crow's feet and
Yeah.
wrinkles around them because that's an age indicator. I want to make sure that they're actually close to my age.
Well, I actually throw out references to sitcoms. That's how I know the age they are, and if they're lying. Because if I throw a Seinfeld reference, then I have no idea what I'm talking about.
That's my
Yeah.
reference. I say, when somebody asks me what my last name is,
Oh yeah.
they say, oh, what's your last name? I said, I'll give you a hint. I said, Cosmo.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
if they, so that's the fucking thing.
Yeah.
The guy that I told the story about last episode, he said Kramer, and I fucking lost it. I was like, we're soulmates, okay? And so
That's
was
not
just
an
like-
avoidant.
No, I didn't
like,
say that out loud. I didn't tell him that.
He should have gave you that ring then. You would have said yes.
Fuck, I would have said yes. Yeah.
But it is. There's
Yeah,
a.
but then you
people
would have ended up in
fucking
my
lie.
office because you were going through a divorce or something like that.
So the great
Yeah.
thing
Yeah,
is,
but I would have had a baby.
yeah, true. You would have had a baby and money.
Yeah, but if you
He was an architect. Oh, fuck. I'm telling you too much.
but if you'd had a baby, then you still would have been tied to him the rest of your life.
Yeah, but he has money.
You need to listen to
Money
our
make your
divorce
life
episode.
Yeah,
Listen to the Put the Kids
There-
First
money is-
episode.
My bad.
money is far from the most important thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay, so obviously the apps didn't work for any of us.
Well,
And you
I mean,
actually
we'll
said
see.
you had more great experiences with actual meeting people. So,
Yeah.
sadly, with the numbers, 50% of people meet online now. It's literally 50%.
How much are they numbers that stay online?
Yeah, that's the question. Are people actually like staying together, getting married?
Didn't get a chance to look that part. God damn it.
Dawson.
The next one is through friends. It's 15%. And then work and college. But work,
Should we ask you about work?
no.
I've never dated anybody through work.
Neither have I.
I have definitely dated a lot of people through work.
Actually, I've dated people who I've met through work, but that we don't work together. If
Okay.
you know what I mean.
Patience.
Yes. And their brothers.
She's that nurse.
Ah, gotcha. So
Yeah, couple different
professionally,
Nightingale nurse.
it is unethical and I could lose my
Yeah, please don't
license
do
if
that.
I were to get into a romantic relationship with a client or a client's parent for 5 years.
I had a friend that actually 5 years.
5 years. American Counseling Association. It's 5 years. It's called a dual relationship, and I could lose my license. So
That's not a confession. That's just the statement.
no, that's not a I hold boundaries very healthily
Good. Me too.
in most cases. But that in that one, I'm like I will not budge on that boundary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to lose. I'm not going to
Can
lose my
I
profession.
lose my license
I
for
have no
dating a
idea.
patient?
I don't know.
No. I don't know. Shit. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I had a coworker that actually.
You guys are going to get a call from the state board.
I know. I had a coworker that actually, this guy, he was like 25, and she's like, he's a good-looking dude, you know, and she's like, man, he's kind of cool, but he has a brain tumor. He's supposed to die in the next couple months, is what he said. And so once he got out of the hospital, he called her, and they started dating. And she's like, well, you know, he's gonna die anyway,
Shut up.
so I'll just make him happy till he dies.
Oh no, that's horrible.
Well,
I mean, that's kind of sweet, but it's also horrible.
I actually took care of him, so I actually like read everything, and it was like prognosis was like 5 years, but he
Oh,
told
no.
her 2 months because he wanted to date her.
I have a friend that had that happen too.
And after about 6 months, she's like, he won't fucking die.
That's horrible. That is horrible.
Are they having a good relationship?
Oh no, she ended up
No.
breaking up with him for lying, but obviously, but. So, what was your experiences with that dating, like outside of patient, like, not
Which ones? Yeah.
dating patients?
Dating patients. I did date.
Have
I
any
did.
of them turned out well?
I actually, okay, so I do have a significant relationship that it was a patient. I was a brand new baby nurse. Okay.
You dated the daddy of some baby that. Did you really?
I was a young nurse. I wasn't young.
She was the baby daddy.
I was the young.
The nurse, but like
I was a
the
new
baby
nurse.
daddy of the mom
I
that
was
just
a
had
new
a baby.
nurse.
No, the dad of a girl
No,
that had
no,
a
no, no, no. She wanted a baby so bad.
I was a new nurse. I was working in the emergency room, and I was brand new. I was still in orientation. I wasn't even off orientation yet. And
Hey, try not to clap because it's a
and
signal for him to edit.
don't edit this.
I do the editing
So
mostly.
and so there,
Jason
it's like
makes sure I do it right.
I'm so glad he's here. And so it's the middle of the night, and we have like 2 gunshot wounds coming in, two GSWs. And as a new nurse, I don't know what the fuck to do to that. Right? I'm like, this is
Stop
not
the
my
bleeding?
This is not my role. Yeah, but like,
Roll
as
one.
a whole, there's other people who are more experienced and know what they're doing.
Okay.
So I look at the board. I'm like, okay, well, they're gonna go do that. I'm like, what do? I just like, I'm still on orientation, just got out of school. And I look at the board, and I saw somebody come in for a cough, and I was like, I got that one. That was me. I got
That's
the
a
cough.
3-minute patient.
Can't fuck
Got
that
it.
one up. I got it. So I go in. At this point in time, everything's going crazy. Like, we don't actually, like, we would have tested him for strep throat, but we treat him and straight him. Okay. So we don't actually test him.
She made out with him and found out she didn't get sick, so she was good.
Okay. So we don't test him. I just come in and I say, hey,
This is
like,
totally feeding the
we're
stereotype
gonna-
I have for nurses.
So I come in and
Yeah,
I say,
it is.
hey, like, you
I
know,
know. Sorry, go on.
Sorry.
I've got this shot for you. We're going to go ahead and treat you for strep throat. We're not going to wait for the test because sometimes the tests give false negatives, false positives, whatever. We're just going to treat you with this one-time dose, and then you'll be on your way.
So you saw his ass.
I did. Exactly.
That's
Thank
why
you.
she liked it.
And
It's
so
a shot in the
I
ass.
walked in. I was like, hey, like, I've got the shot. We're going to do that. And I said, but I got to put it in your butt. And he goes, okay. And he goes, is it going to hurt? And I said, fuck yeah, it's gonna hurt. Look at this. Look how thick this shit is. Because it's a bacillin shot. You know,
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
white, it's creamy, it's a huge fucking
Yeah.
needle, okay? And so it's like,
Like, what is it, like 8 gauge?
It's like an 18, I think.
That's how we
it
give
is-
blood
it's
to
absolutely
horses.
18.
Yeah, 18 gauge.
So he comes in with his friend, and so he's like leaning over, and I like pull his pants down a little bit, and I give him this shot, and then like I come back, I give him the paperwork, and he says, hey, like, will you go? I'm gonna be at Corner Cafe. That'll date me because Corner Cafe is not open anymore.
Yeah.
And he said, I'll be at Corner Cafe at 7 a.m. for breakfast.
There's
if
one
you
up in
want
Liberty.
to meet me there. Okay. Oh, not Corner Cafe. It doesn't matter. It's a restaurant that's in Westport that's not.
It doesn't
open anymore.
exist anymore. Got it. All right.
And so I'm like, oh, okay. Like I didn't say yes or no because I was like, oh, this is new, fun information for
He
me,
loved
right?
how you poked his ass.
That's
He's like, God damn, that was good.
like the best
He was
peg
into
I've ever had.
BDSM.
That
Yeah.
did not
He
hurt
went
at
into
all.
pain.
Okay, so here's the
I don't know if it's
fun
supposed
part.
I don't know if
Did we
it's
read it?
supposed to go in the anus though.
I should have Googled it before I gave him the shot.
Wait, you didn't know how to give him the shot? That's
I
horrible.
mean,
All
there
right.
are a couple things I Google before I walk into a room. You've done it. I know you have. So, okay.
I mean,
so,
I Google like how to fix a car.
not before you walk into a patient's room.
No.
Google how
No.
do you
How
solve
do I
childhood
do
trauma?
therapy?
Yeah.
You therapize.
So I go back to my preceptor, the person that was teaching me how to be a nurse because I was brand new, and I was like kind of closer, and I said, hey, like, this guy just asked me to go to breakfast with him, and I was like, I think I'm gonna go, and she goes, oh fuck, what are we gonna do with you?
She knew
And
right
so,
then.
Yeah,
Bad
she
to the
did.
bone.
Yeah, she did. And so I went to breakfast, and we actually had a wonderful time, and we dated for
6 months.
6 months, and to actually
Is it not an average of 6 months? It's just 6 months.
it's my average. I don't know. No. It's like a 6 month.
We literally tried to figure this out because I was
Yeah.
like asking her all these questions. Like, okay, did they start showing who they are around that time? You start seeing the flags.
Yeah, it's part of an
You
avoidant.
get
I think
bored.
it's an
Are you
avoidant.
Sagittarius because they get bored.
Scorpio.
Really easy?
I don't know. I should have had you guys guess that.
Oh, you're a Scorpio?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you're not dating her.
No, I'm a Scorpio too.
He's had a vasectomy. Am I going to date him?
Yeah.
I'm just
Just
kidding.
one
You
nut.
haven't.
Just one nut.
Yeah. So okay. So the irony of this is we did have a good relationship. I actually very much valued that relationship. He
For 6 months.
was
So
conservative Christian,
Yeah.
32, and
Gay.
a virgin.
Oh, that's like it's and gay.
Yeah. And
So
so
you don't want to break him. Or you did break
She
him.
did break him.
So the next ER visit was when the sex swing broke from the ceiling, and that's how we broke up.
You know, it's usually the conservative Christians that become the wildest.
Girl-wise, yes.
not male ones.
I don't know.
I don't know. I really don't see
Oh, this should be a part 3.
coming back.
Yeah. No, but like, so to be honest, it was a really good relationship. But it ultimately ended because we had similar values, but they were rooted in different things. His was rooted in Christianity. Mine was rooted in being a good human
Yeah.
outside of religious belief. And but he was wonderful. But yeah, no, I did my best to respect. I did respect his physical boundaries.
She threw him down, and you're mine.
But it was a
over here.
constant battle. It really was a battle with that because I knew that he wanted to, and I was I put up boundaries of like, hey, like I value more in a relationship than sex. And so if that's something that is important to you, I am interested in what that means to you and to know you more than that.
Yeah, I've told clients that if their relationship is founded on sex, it's going to fail.
Yeah, absolutely.
Every single time. It will fail.
Yep. Yeah. And so I knew that I was okay with sex before marriage, but I knew that wasn't okay for him. And so I was curious to see if we could do that together or not. And ultimately we couldn't, but it was a very good, to me, it was a very good exercise for the both of us to kind of explore that together. I think he thinks I'm the devil, but like other than that, I really did respect that relationship.
I mean, I was told
on.
when I was 12 that women are the devil. I mean,
That apple was delicious. Yeah.
he was like, look at this shiny little apple, baby boy, with her boobs out.
Yeah.
Of course he's
Yeah.
going to say yes. Okay, I'll eat it.
But the worm was
That is
tiny.
a gross
The worm was
bastardization.
We never saw Adam's worm.
Anyway. Yeah, what's next on the cards?
Well, I mean, so you actually really like the natural setting, going to clubs. Like, what's actually your natural
Yeah.
setting?
So anymore, it's much less clubs. I'm 39. I don't know if you heard that.
No,
but I like to be in bed
Getting
early.
so old.
And I know. But listen,
Bed by 7.
if I can put on the dad hat, I'm the oldest I've ever been. Okay, like that's a good old dad joke.
But you're older now.
And even older now.
Even now.
Exactly.
Even now.
Yeah.
That's so stupid.
So
the last person that I dated, his suggestion for a first date was going on a walk in the park.
Nice.
And I was like,
that's a good date.
I love that.
Let me take my Tylenol first.
Walk around. Don't remind this rape backpack I got here. Holding on.
Oh my God, he wore a backpack. And that was a joke the whole time. Was like, what are you carrying in your backpack?
Did he not tell you?
I just throw it out there.
Like water and sunscreen and things for life.
How old was he?
He's a dad.
He's like, he's a
I'm a dad. I can carry that stuff. Well,
I got rope. I got rope.
How long was the walk?
Ethanol.
We went for like 3 or 4 hours because it was wonderful.
All right, that's
we had a good
That's
time.
valid.
We had a really good time, and this was the most recent person. This was an MNU. This is the MNU.
Oh,
guy.
MNU guy.
Yeah,
all right.
and he's one, and I still we still are in contact, and we still I ended it because it was just more of a like, okay, I don't want to fuck your life up if I'm trying to have a baby. You already have kids.
Because you're the devil,
like,
apparently.
I really do have so much appreciation for him and respect it. But I loved it was a park, so I knew that it wasn't going to be financially motivated.
Yeah.
I knew that it wasn't. It was more of like, hey, let's just be in this space where we just share ideas and share nature and all that kind of stuff. And so I liked that a lot. So it was cool. Not a fine $900 bottle of wine.
Well, and those are the dates that I would try to do the more natural, realistic dates.
Yeah.
If they suggested it, I'm like, okay, cool. But I was always that kind of person. It's like, hey, let's just do something easy, cheap. Not because I'm cheap, just because I want to see your natural state.
Yeah.
I want to see how do you handle the date being in a natural environment where something else isn't distracting us. You go when you're a teenager, people go to a movie. Hey, let's go somewhere and not talk for 2 hours.
Stare at a screen and not talk for
Yeah, but you have that teenage anxiety, so you don't really know what to do with yourself.
Yeah, that's where you don't say anything, but you still get to make a move.
Yeah, putting a hand on your knee.
Well, that's like when we did embarrassing stories with girls. A lot of our conversation was about high school and dating, and all my dates were activities and doing.
I want to do
like
embarrassing stories. I want to come back for that.
Okay. We can do another one. Yeah. I don't know if we'll invite you back, but.
That's okay.
She might ruin it.
Just kidding.
I've accepted that.
So you like the natural one, and I really honestly feel like when I met Sydney, it was she came around the corner and I was just like, damn, she's so beautiful.
Yeah.
And
she is.
And then she actually liked me.
Isn't that the crazy part?
Well, and it's we were talking and everything, and she's laughing, and that was toxic. Her laugh was just
so
amazing.
The dating app didn't work for you. It was at work.
Yeah. Well, and that's usually when people meet. If you don't meet them at college, and then it's social events, clubs,
Yeah.
Because if you put the other 50%, it's really the outside world.
Yeah.
All the other ones are outside world. You're meeting people naturally. Or dating apps, I feel like you're trying to force the meeting and force the date
and I think
force the connection.
I think that's why I think most genuine people are not genuine. I think most people who would like to be serious about a relationship but are burned out or tired or just I know for guys a lot of guys have been broken by a lot of women, and they're just screw it, I'm not doing this anymore, and they don't get on the dating sites because they don't want to deal with that stuff anymore.
And vice versa.
And vice versa,
a lot of women
a lot of women that have that happen too, where it's they're just going to live their lives, but then nobody's meeting.
Yeah.
So
you got to say yes.
No.
We got to do this again.
That actually is one thing. Is you have to step outside of your boundary a little bit. That's one of the big things we talked about in 2 episodes ago about how to heal and going out and doing things and going out with friends and just experiencing life again and actually getting out.
Yeah.
And ironically, when I did the dating apps, I did it until I got tired of it. This is a waste of my fucking time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I actually started meeting real connected people, just going out, being me, and being who I was.
And I'll plug therapy really quick too. You've got to make sure that your boundaries are healthy and that you're sticking to the boundaries. You got to get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
But you've got to hold to your healthy boundaries. So.
Did you get that?
I think so. So there was a story about me meeting somebody in real life.
Yeah.
Is that what? Yeah. So this was a friend. It was like a setup. It was a setup. It was a friend of a doctor that I used to work with. and I was friends with the nurse that he was dating. And so they were like, oh my God, Vanessa and whatever this guy, honestly, I can't remember.
I've been through a setup. Didn't go well.
Right? This didn't go well. It kind of did go well. So we're,
Kinda went well.
so we all kind of go out together. And so this guy, I honestly can't remember his name, but I want to say something because I want to use it. So I'm going to say Perry. I think it sounds something like that. Anyway, so we go out. He's very attractive. He's rich. And he's very charismatic. All of those things. It should have been a red flag. Okay? Like, all of
So
them.
he's gay.
No, he's not
Why do you keep
gay.
on
I don't
focusing
think
on
he's
the gay?
I don't know. I was just waiting for like the
Just, like,
turner.
waiting
The
for
shoe to
me
drop? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I love dating women, actually.
No, he was
We
still
can talk about
married.
that later.
That was the
Oh
problem.
yeah, I forgot about that.
I don't know if he was married either. So we go out and we have a good time and it's fun and it, like we're, both being flirty and all that. And there's obviously like physical connection or like attraction or whatever. So I think we go on like another date, just the two of us. And I, as a responsible, sex giving person, okay, I'm going to say that.
Sure.
I
didn't know that was a thing, but okay.
Yeah, I mean, how is it not a thing? Yeah. I was like, hey, like, just to let you know, like, I have tested positive for HPV.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I was like, and so to me, that's just like so in my phone, I carry like my most recent test results, my STI test results. So I can say, hey, I get tested on a regular basis. Like, this is my, like, these are my test results. Like, there's like there's so many places to go to for free where you can get tested. Okay.
Are you doing this like as you're getting naked?
No.
Oh, hey, let me
sometimes
let me
depends.
show you this really quick in case
Depends
you
on
want to
the
know.
situation. It depends on the situation, man. Sometimes I'm like, oh fuck, I haven't said it yet. Like, I like pause, wait, like bring it down. Yeah. So like this is before we're still fully clothed. And so I'm like, hey, like, just
Over
let you know I have
coffee.
HPV. Please. and so he's like, oh, what's that? And I said, oh, okay, well, like, if like this is what it
Could
is,
make
it's
your
just
dick
like
fall off.
yeah, it can make your dick fall off. It
Throat
does
cancer,
make your dick fall off.
like Michael Douglas.
So I'm telling, for real. So I'm talking about HPV, and it makes sense that more men don't know about it because we can't test it in men reliably, I think, at all. And so, but it does get diagnosed through pap smears through women. And so I recently had a positive test result and I was getting information about it. And so I was like, oh, that I should tell people about this. And some of the statistics are that like,
Just made me think of that Far Side comic where it's a party, a bunch of dogs, and goes, I have worms.
And then everyone's like giving the confidence to be like, I have worms too.
No, they just all went silent.
That's kind of how it was.
He's like, I don't know what that is. Shit.
Yeah. So he's like saying how like he's like really nervous about this and like, oh my God, like blah, blah, blah. And I'm like educating and I understand when people don't know what it is. Again, like you can't test it for men. So it makes sense that they don't take as much sexual responsibility in things like this because it only really has an effect on women, which is a whole nother topic of conversation. But so I'm talking about it and he's like, oh, my people don't have HPV. Like my kind of people.
My people?
And in my head, I was like,
He got really arrogant really fast,
yes.
didn't he?
Yeah,
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
And in my head, it was, and I maybe I'm misremembering this, but in the moment, my thought was, your like hierarchical class of people don't have HPV, but
Yeah,
my
I grew up around
lower
them.
working class nursing people who have to fucking go to a job for work, like living, have these kinds of diseases, right? Which most people have HPV. And like you said earlier, like our bodies will heal that after a couple years. Sometimes they don't, sometimes they do, whatever.
Yeah.
And so we talked about it.
What an arrogant prick.
Arrogant
Did you
prick.
end it after that, or did you not see the red flag?
No, I
You're
did not
like,
end it
he's
after that.
rich.
First of all, I was like, okay, well, he's not. I already knew he wasn't going to be like a relationship. And this was a while ago. This was years ago before I wanted a baby. Okay, before I wanted a baby.
Okay.
Actually,
Thursday.
fuck, I shouldn't have used it. I should have just had the fucking baby. I was not pregnant. So
I was like, wait, what?
later, sorry, I know. Too many things.
No, she's thinking about capturing as much of that money as possible.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, now, hindsight, 2020.
Hindsight, yeah.
So we talk about it. We continue to have our little fun date. We have a good time. Obviously, like I say, obviously, now I'm being egotistical. This does not deter him. We do have sex, and we have a good fucking time. We do. And I like it was.
Then his dick fell off.
And his dick fell off. I tossed his salad a little bit for the first time, and he was like, "Nobody's ever licked my butthole like that."
Oh.
And I was like,
Like
"You're
that?
welcome." No, like at all. Right, right. Well,
Like
like that, but also at all.
Damn, you're like Kiss all the way in. Long tongue.
Okay, so we have sex, we have a good time, and he's
Talking
like,
about HPV. What about the other shit you would have got from the ass?
Pun intended, right? Yeah.
yeah.
Sorry, that's a no-go for me.
I now have C diff of the mouth.
Okay, listen,
No.
that was a no-go for him until I did it,
Yeah,
and then he
you
was
might
like,
it.
"Oh shit!"
No.
Literally.
Nope.
Oh shit.
Nope.
Shit, I gotta pee now. Okay.
Turn the brown eye blue.
Okay, so we have sex, right? Obviously, and then we have sex a couple more times. We go out, and I was like, okay, like I'm done with this fucking prick because he's still a prick, but he's fucking sexy. Okay, he's goddamn sexy. So we do, and we stopped dating, which is absolutely fine. I can't remember how that happened. We didn't really like date. It was just kind of like a fling, right? And in my head, I walked away, and I thought, now your people have HPV.
She's like, winner.
Wow.
Now they do.
Now they do. Every single one of you rich bastards.
Yeah,
That's
I
how we
took
need
that
to
as
go
a
out
win.
on this episode.
We are going out just like that.
That's how I took that as a win.
Oh
That
my
was a
goodness.
win.
That was horribly aggressive.
Diseasing the world.
Yeah.
Well, hey, we really appreciate you
Yeah,
coming
thank
on.
you, Vanessa. This has been a lot of fun.
Good dating.
Love to have you again.
Yeah.
That's great.
Hey guys, 2-part series. This is the second one. If you missed the first one, go back a week and check it out.
Check out all of our episodes.
Yeah, and then go back from there. You know, we're not as funny as her, but we are pretty funny sometimes. You know?
Sometimes.
We're insightful.
You are.
We can't always rely on our looks, but we try.
Well, yeah, we didn't rely on our looks because we didn't have video till now.
That's a pro dating app move.
Yeah, I think we should definitely start an app called Silver something. What did you call it?
Silver's
Silver
Singles?
singles.
Silver
Yeah.
Singers.
80-year-olds.
But
But they're gonna be rich.
they'll be like, can Tommy get it up for more than 2 minutes?
All right.
That little red
So
family guy.
we're gonna go ahead and
All right.
go ahead and get going here. But thanks everybody for watching, listening, whatever you're doing. But like, follow, and subscribe. Let us know what you think of this episode, the one before, the first part of this, and then also what you'd like us to talk about in the future.
Yeah. Appreciate it. Thanks for joining us, guys. Stay classy, Kansas City.